Can I just can I just have this extended out, or is that not a possibility? I don't think so. Okay, so uh yesterday, me and Kyle decided to release a reaction video to or not reaction, I guess prediction video is more accurate. I should change this. No, I know it correctly. At any rate, we got a lot of comments. A lot of them obviously disagreeing with our position, which is fine. But there were quite a few people providing claims that I thought would be kind of fun to at least investigate a little bit on stream. And then if they show up at any point, hello, Dark Lord, I'm doing pretty good. See if they can actually respond during this. Hello, Kyle. I'm currently on stream channel, but I think, oh, I thought you were working. So now, I have seen some evidence for Clive I want to talk about that I did I forgot to mention in the prediction video because it was kind of late. And also Star Rail's new chapter had come out, so I was a little distracted. I do apologize for that. I'm about to leave, you bastard. Well, I'm not streaming at night tonight, so because Star Rail. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go through some of the comments and see what they say, and to try and look into it a little bit directly to see what they're talking about, see if there's anything we missed, anything we forgot to mention, and see if they provided any points since then. Does Kyle only care about the statement over feats or feats over statements? Kyle, as far as I know, has no issues with either. Leave this up so I can listen to it at work tomorrow. Yeah, it should be fine. Kyle has no issue with statements as far as I know. Um, so yeah, no, that's not an issue there. So let's see here. We have the Young Family 18 minutes ago, newest first. Unfortunately, you guys are gonna be seeing all my recommendations on the side. Apologize for that. I like Clive more than Dante, but Virgil's my favorite character in fiction. However, I know there's nothing Clive can do to beat Dante. All right, so I guess just to like not even pretend around it. Me and Kyle did not like Clive as a character. We made that very clear in the video. Now, obviously, we're trying to be as accurate as possible when it comes to information. I was going more off of memory than I would have liked. Again, I was kind of expecting a death battle like this to happen after Final Fantasy 16's lore book, but unfortunately, things just don't work out that way. Baki 90% statements and have a few good feats, right? Baki has a couple decent number of feats. Hang on, I'm gonna grab my phone right now just in case, so I can have chat open over there. I'm not expecting too many people to show up. This is just more so I wanted to have something here so people can see, sort of like at least me check it and then point me in the right direction if they end up watching this later on. If you have comments about what I'm checking here, honestly, you're better off leaving them on the original video, but it's fine. So yeah, Box 9% statements. Yeah. So all right, let's get into this. Also, Clive is universal. Ultima created multiple different universes above space time before even combining with the other Ultimas. This was stated in the game, and all the other Ultimas he absorbed were more powerful than him via being turned into mother crystals to absorb the ether out of the planet. Um, a lot of things there. First of all, number one, I don't. So the other ones being turned into mother crystals, I pretty sure that's not accurate, but he might be right there. Udra should be able to take a nuke there. I'll ask if he can provide me a location for it right now. Also, Clive Base surpasses combined Ultima's power. Yes and no. We're gonna watch the Ultima fight. Yeah, everything's good, Ewan. Shut down face people like Ultima and Clive for breakfast now and calls them boring. Like Ultima's have anything that scales him above Moonus, Argus X, Pluto, definitely not Urizen. Okay, so this one's a little weird. Can you provide the location in the game or lore that confirms Ultima created different universes? To be clear, Ultima does not. as far as I know, there are no statements for Ultima creating a universe. He goes to the planet, or potentially might even been on the planet to begin with, depending on how you want to look at the Ultimania translation. And they find the planet. As far as I know, he doesn't create any universes. So, go ahead and just let's go ahead and like these. Jeremy's just be doing Jeremy things. Okay. Okay, so Angry Nerd Out. A lot of comments here. Oh, apparently Kyle's challenging him. Nah. There's the troublemaker, there he is. Yes, Muhammad's skill to Ultima, which means he got stronger. Yeah, I don't know who the fuck he's talking about. I don't remember a character named Muhammad if I was 16. Also, pay attention to stronger Clive's will got, stronger he got. At the end of the game, he was so determined to beat Ultima that he was able to overpower him. Excuse me. Who is Muhammad? Jeremy, I really need you to point me in the direction of these DMC fans you find so annoying because I'm on the Reddits for power scaling and there's not many DMC fans the way you were saying like they're everywhere. So I need is this on Twitter? Is this an X thing? Anyways, okay, so let's actually pull this up right now because we're gonna have to look into this. Clive versus Ultima because we're gonna have to look at this later. Yeah. We'll probably do a reaction to this fight as it goes along. Yeah, Jeremy has a hate boner against DMC fans right now for whatever reason. The final fight is not mental mindscape. If that's the case, why is he in a different physical position? Make that make sense. He physically is in a different position. If that's not mental mindscape, why does his body physically move? Okay, so I just want to see assault. How ideal people only care feats showing games or story. Like I say, Dante showed destroy many buildings level, but statement scaled multiversal level. Well, it's just very simple. Oh, hang on. You good, mate? Okay, so I need to find out who Muhammad is there. Clive got the full power of Phoenix, given a significant power increase. So I believe he'd be referencing because I do agree that Clive gets stronger by the I believe it's right about here is when he gets it. So here we go. Let's Okay, that's Dion fucking his back breaking by carrying these fucking losers.
Thank the founder.
God.
That makes two of them. Did I mention you look terrible?
So I'm pretty sure he absorbs Joshua's power at some point before the final fight.
Sorry about Dion. Don't be. And it's time we do. Listen. No, I think we're light, aren't we? Could be waiting for us in there.
Okay, so there are the other Ultimas.
Can't be. But they are.
Yeah, this
is the Nexus.
Yeah, the Nexus is basically just a Mother Crystal.
A wellspring of life. Yours and ours. As we watch the world stumble slowly to its dark aim.
Right.
It was here we pledged a new beginning. And now, with the ether we have harvested, I shall raise my kin from their eternal slumber. That together we may usher in a new age of reason
This was never about creation. Only self-preservation. You condemned an entire world so that you alone might escape death. Alone. Him. Alone.
Hang on.
Clive. I think I understand. He...
So, actually, quick little guidebook or Ultimania information here. So, according to the Ultimania, the energy they took to power the Nexus, they were pretty confident it wasn't going to destroy the planet. The destruction of the planet because of the Mother Crystal is more so humanity abusing that magical power than it was Ultima's people. Ultima's people gave them the tools and then went to sleep, but they themselves did not cause that destruction. So I'm trying to see where it says they're Mother Crystals. Or if that's going to be a lore statement, I'm going to have to look up in the wiki right now. In the meantime, yeah, because we gotta get to the landscape section in a bit. No, again, not here to act like I don't dislike Clive as a character. I'm just trying
They
to get to the second section.
sacrificed their flesh to become beating hearts of crystal that pumped the land's lifeblood from the
Okay, so that's
depths
what I'm
of the
assuming
earth
is the
onto
point. Is the
this
point he's trying to
very chamber.
reference? I did see your comment.
And thus would they labor still, long after their work was done, had you not set them free.
Okay, so that's what he's referring to then. Let's see here. Who's the one brought up that they were Mother Crystals? So I'm not too sure if they would be stronger than Ultima, specifically because the Mother Crystals did absorb power, but that power was destroyed. So unless that power went to the Nexus, I don't think they would be stronger inherently.
You meant for us to destroy the Mother Crystals.
Yeah.
It's what you wanted all along.
You have our gratitude, Neothos. In this you have served us well. You have both.
So I'm trying to remember if Ultima actually has. Garrett mainly do Frank with Neo. If Ultima actually has any feats prior to this, because you fight Typhoon, who Ultima sends out, but I don't think Ultima himself fights anyone at any point prior to this point.
Welcome home, brother.
It's depressing as hell. I'm sure that's the whole point of Black Mirror.
I thought it was me, but it wasn't my grasp.
Yeah, Neo versus Frank West. Did Minerva's race create whole Assassin's Creed verse or not? I don't think they did. I'm pretty sure they were alive prior, after Unity was created.
It was theirs that grew stronger.
What's up, Triple? Pretty good. The Twilight Zone does it better.
And now we can become one.
We're here.
Yeah, set the price. I really do need it. So the thing about Black Mirror versus the Twilight Zone is the Twilight Zone was created as more pure fictional material to enjoy. As time went on, it stayed good because it wasn't too, how do I say this? It wasn't too timely in its thing. So Ultima was using Joshua as a vessel. One of them was. And so here Ultima absorbs all of them, and I believe the Nexus as well in this cutscene, or does he absorb the Nexus afterwards? The placing is slow. Here, we can increase the speed. It's fine.
Clive.
That's a little too gross for my taste. We'll do 1.5 speed.
The one possessed of the destructive flames of Ifrit and the healing flames of the Phoenix. This, I once believed, would be Ultima's true form. But I was wrong. I see it now. Why you will never become Ultima's vessel. Okay, just hold on. Listen to me, Clive. You remember the murals? People once knew that Ultima was their god.
Yeah.
That he created them.
Yes.
And they worshipped him, prayed to him, looked to him for guidance. In vain. In vain. We did not listen, did not acknowledge our will.
Okay, so from what I remember correctly of the timeline, Ultima did guide them when Ultima was awake, but at some point after Ultima gathers all the Aether, he falls asleep. And during that point, mankind can't be led by Ultima, and they sort of brush off on their own.
And so we strayed from his path to forge one of our own. So absorbed was he in his own desires, so driven by his own will alone, that he shunned the one thing that could have made him truly powerful. Faith. The same faith people now place in you. Faith that you will fulfill their dream, Sid's dream, of creating a better world for us.
Alright, then you
Faith
just
that
the
you will
Phoenix.
follow in Father's footsteps and save those who need saving most. Faith that you will answer Jill's plea to save yourself.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
The difference is, Clive,
I can only watch
chose to
season 1
listen,
Black Mirror,
and that is what has steeled
and
our
I'm not really
bonds.
a big fan of those shows.
Bonds that helped you stand firm when Ultima's pull was at its strongest. His power may be absolute, but so is ours. And so will yours be.
Yeah, here we go. Here's where it absorbs the Phoenix.
With my light in your heart, not even a god might stop us. Joshua! Don't do it, you'll... Enough, Clive. My body is too far gone.
Squid Game is better. Dracula, me, Gabriel Belmont. I'm pretty sure it's a shadow he plays Dracula, to be fair. Kefka versus Lightning? I'll give that to Lightning. Yeah, and so this is where we get to, this is where he basically becomes Ifrit Risen.
I have always been proud to call you my shield. But now, it is the world that needs you. Thank you, Clive. For being my brother.
Yes, yes. Alright, so that's when he absorbs the Phoenix. I believe so. Okay, what did we check here? The Mother Crystals. So they were turning the Mother Crystals to absorb the Aether out of the planet. I don't remember specifically if that was to lead towards the Nexus or if they would have kept that power after they blew up. Yeah, significant power increase. So Clive gained the full power of the Phoenix. You would just assume that this would give him the same level of power that they had when they fought Bahamut. Because, here, I'll demonstrate. I'll look it up real fast. Oh, here we go. If reverse Bahamut, perfect.
We get it. You work hard, and
Meantime,
every dollar counts. So get the gear that works as hard as you do. Earn
Finish that
2%
for
cash
13
back
games
on your
in.
first
Take a while.
50,000.
hang on. So there's base Ifrit. There's the Phoenix going to help him. Here they are jumping Dion. Now Dion's still around, so the game just lies to you, you know, as it do.
What now?
And there's the crystal. And Dion absorbs the power of the crystal into himself.
This is drinking the ether.
We have to stop him.
To take Clive's fireball. Wouldn't there be an argument for not being the same power as the other summons from the other Final Fantasy based on not being a hallucination feat? How to use the icon form for Clive? No, Clive can scale the air summons. No one discusses FF16 cross scaling to the other games. That's anyone who does that is just being completely disingenuous. It's just that for the game itself is what we're working with. So yeah, here we go. Clive merges with Ifrit. Or well, I guess Ifrit merges with Phoenix more accurately. And this is their power, where they battle Bahamut infused with the power of the crystal. The point being is that this is where Clive's level of power should be, but after absorbing Joshua. Technically it can, but no one really scaled to D&D and stuff of that nature. Yeah, Ifrit Risen versus Beyond. So this is where Clive's level of power should be by the time he fights Ultima. Because he absorbed, or the second time he fights Ultima, because there was a whole fight we had to skip where Dion was fucking carrying them. I don't remember if Dion loses the power up. Yeah, here we have the light speed.
How can we hope to match such power? By trusting in our own.
Yeah. And then we just get the Zeta Flare feed. I don't remember if Dion loses his power from this transformation. I would assume he does. I could be wrong about that though. I mean, he does put a better fight against Ultima than Clive and Joshua do, so you feel like he keeps the power. Where's the Zeta Flare? Radiance. Because Bahamut has an ultimate attack in this form. Daryl, I saw some debating with Clive wins. Someone replies and explains how Dante is relative to Kratos and how... And he immediately changed his mind. Chaos with Bahamut as a pet. Or Chaos as Bahamut as a pet, that's cute. I do not know how to pronounce that name. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Can I just say Clive's icon transformation sucks because it literally restricts Clive to only Ifrit powers and can't use the other icon abilities. It is kind of weird that his dominant form doesn't get to use the other powers. Will you reaction to Kratos vs. Doomslayer video from Chuck or not yet? Probably not. Sketchbook, I wonder if Dante will win this one. Hello, Sketchbook. Well, right now I'm going through some comments because some people disagreed with the positions me and Kyle had, and it's been a while since I've gone through 16 since Kyle did it on stream, so I'm going through and checking the information, but I'm also showing a few things. Ready? Terra Flare. Okay, yeah, so you break the Terra Flare. He does Terra Flare earlier. I think this is where Zeta Flare is? Yeah, here's Zeta Flare. I did ask, because someone claimed Ultima created universes before the events of the game, before merging with the others, so I asked for clarification on that. Hopefully they'll be able to provide me a scan or a location. Would this hallucination feat be universal in scale? Well, this isn't a hallucination feat, they just flew into space. There's nothing, this isn't a different, like, area, or this is a different area, like, they just flew into space. Here we go, here's Zeta Flare.
What in the hell?
So, fun fact, this is the first time Zeta Flare is ever used in the main Final Fantasy games. Zeta Flare was a Kingdom Hearts ability.
Burn the world. Not today. Come on, Joshua.
So this will be the extent of the power that's demonstrated at the level Clive would be at the start of the fight with Ultima. Now, I don't believe he gets knocked out of this. But obviously we'll watch it Dreadnought be like, Chuck Highball Trails and Doomslayer are so much high. I really don't know. And speaking of Bahamut's Fury Exaplane from Final Fantasy VII.
Look at that. Buy one, add one
Got
for a
some
car.
McDonald's.
Get
All I see right now is 2 Naruto victims. That's wild. Okay, so there's Bahamut falling. Okay, so Bahamut does lose the power of the crystal, yes. But didn't they break the mother? Did they break the mother crystal? Yes, they do. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so he would lose the at least Bahamut would lose the power. I wonder how much to lowball Dante. We'll see. Imagine being able to attack for 30 seconds without help, able to take damage. No, if we're talking straight abilities, Dante's got the one spades. Okay, so we'll look into the mental landscape a little later. I just wanted to demonstrate that one. Also pay attention. Clive's will got the stronger he got at the end of the game, so determined. Oh well, let me refresh the page and see if anyone's responded to the comments I posted already.
All right.
Sorry. Here we go. The info you get after you beat him from with Joshua from Hypocrites is all stated in the new book from Hypocrites about each statue you interact with to train your icon. All have their different dimensions, universes within them that Clive can interact with. The size of these can vary based on how big they could be. We just know that the one he created when he fought with Joshua stated to be above time and space. Okay, here we go. Cool. Being with Joshua from Hypocrites. All right, hang on. Hello, Stella Cross. Can't tell. Okay, so let's see. FF16. Uh, stated in the new book from Hypocrites about the. Okay, so hang on. I think he's referring to a lore book on that one. Because there's a lore book on the way. Logos. Let's see if it says it here. Because it says hypocrite. Hang on. Fuck. Fire show the mother crystals. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see here. Son of a bitch. Fucking hate when that happens. No, do not save that image. Open image in new tab. Thank you. Okay, here we go. The Redstone. Clive needs cure to heal right outside the icon forms. Yes, is what it appears. Hang on. The mysterious ceramic monoliths both resembles the fall in the manner in which they react to Clive, and Clive's urging him to homify his capabilities, suggesting the uncanny connection to Ultima. Is an ancient term that can be loosely translated as complete realization of potential, and is plausible that these stones, as well as other monoliths of similar construction, thought the twins were created by Ultima before he entered his eons-long slumber, with the express intention of aiding in the perfection of his vessel mythos. According to Clive's own personal accounts, simply placing a hand upon a stone will cause him to be engulfed in a soft, otherworldly radiance. When the light fades, he will find himself transported to a vast crystalline cavern that he somehow knows to be called the Hall of Virtue. Here is prompted by images in his mind, select an environment wherein he might train in battle, relive past experiences, or embark on various trials. As in a dream, Clive will not sustain physical injury during these activities, though any improvements as more skill appear to be retained after waking. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. Let me double check. Do you mean the Artie Stone? His vessel could hold the power he needed for one spell. If you read a lore stay multiple times, he needs to cast a spell, which means one. Hang on. All right. So hang on. Let me read that again. So I'm assuming he's talking about the Artie Stone because this is what it feels like. Do you think they'll bring up the higher dimensional Dante scaling? They have done higher dimensional scaling recently, but I'd be surprised. Clive's experiences within the Artie Stone do not appear to be bound by the fundamental laws of time, which may feel to him like what may feel to him like half a day. Shaldrin is in reality much shorter, off so much that seems no time at all to we who remain on the outside. Indeed, most observations of Clive interacting with the Artie Stone note him approaching the structure, raising his hand, then almost immediately lowering it again. Wait, no, that. Hang on, I gotta make sure. I gotta check if that's what he's saying. Continuing down here. He didn't die because he have too much power. Because he had too much power. The power was leaving him. Those are two completely different things. Oh, so he only suffers from the curse when he fully has ultimate power, which entails absorbing him and all of his siblings. Let me see what he's.
This and see what this says.
Yeah, because 16 story is so good that it turns out that Ultima didn't need Clive as a vessel after all, and his vessel couldn't hold all the power anyway.
So, does this have the ending to the? Well, we'll have to look at the ending on that one. So we'll get back to that one. DBX to the official Hawkman from BlazBlue, I guess. Yep, he's talking about Harpo Crate's book. Okay, Harpo Crate's book. Thank you. Thank you. And I misspelled it. Let's go. Harper Crate's FF16 lore. Can I just get? Say. Can't. Just the Ultimania. I'm probably gonna have to. I'm gonna have to look at the video, aren't I? Uh,
Welcome. One here has taken to calling me simply Tomes. Might interest you. Don't believe you've...
okay, so I guess I gotta look up the 1,000 tomes then. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go. Mother crystals, hard mother crystal. Hang on. So what's this specifically? Okay, each so that'd be the place you train. So that would be the stones, the stones. Here we go. That'd be the Ardor Stone. A mysterious ceramic tablet. Oh yeah, they're making Dante lose like 9% sure. Statements are valid. I don't know, so why don't take books in our sources? They do. Now I got root for Clive so that Dante can join Virgil. A mysterious ceramic tablet stands in the hideaway of a similar construction to other relics of the fallen. It's simply not part of the airship proper. It is imposing appearance to its poor and function. It seems to recognize present there's some full potential. It doesn't really say anything there on that one. I guess I'll just have to look up Ultima then, probably, because the Ultima Civilization. What's powerful? Stupid step out yet? Also part of faster than any DBGS character. That's powerful again. Share matches health and thrive, but can't overcost the onset of the blight. Okay, so that's one Ultima. Ultima Thralls, Ultima Spell. Here we go. The magic of Ultima means to cast raise fallen brethren from eternal slumber and remake the world. To cast it, he requires both enormous amount of Aether, drawn from a line of essentially mother crystals, and a vessel strong enough to withstand channeling the entity known as Mythos. Can I get a? Does Ultima himself just not have a section here? Seems a little weird, but all right. The ranking of the world. Many of the savior myths of a century speak of the raised, the ascension of the faithful paradise, assuming these myths have their roots in the teachings of the Circle of Malice. One might assume that this feat is one and the same with the spell that Ultima requires his vessel to cast, or Ultima's rays will not save his faithful, only revive his own race, or usher them and alone to the remade world. Type in universe. That's fair. Universe. Universe itself. Did I misspell universe? Nope. I couldn't find anything about universe. And I'm spelling like crazy. Let's try dimension. Let's try dimension next. That's fair. There you go. Okay, unlocks from each dimensional rift. These enormous glassy mountains that once towered over the lands of Australia, providing the crystal and the people. Cloud and Josh learned that they were planted here by Ultima for that very purpose, that the creature might accumulate enough air to cast a pretty powerful spell, one that would remake the world. When Ultima uses Mythos to describe the vessels he has long awaited, one to which he can pour his soul and cast a supreme spell. Logos indicates his blasphemed form, a vessel over which the will of another is complete claim, making it a false god. The bonds of consciousness, the fellow feeling that binds a person with those they love and who love them. So long as these bonds remain strong, so too is the human grip on their will. Ultima cast Primogenesis in order to sever these bonds. Ultima's reminds mankind's greatest sin is waking their free will. His servants strain from their path, clearly not forging one of their own, contends with the sin, interventional rift. Okay, the new world. Hang on. Is this a wiki page? This is a wiki page because I'm trying to see if the description's here. The Paradise Ultima seeks to summon into The Paradise Ultima seeks to summon into creation one free from the blight that almost ended his race. Though Barnabas believed he and his fellow faithful would be allowed to join his deity there, he was mistaken. Only Ultima's kin shall have a place in this new paradise. Okay, so apparently summon. I don't want to be super anal about it, but to be fair, if it's saying summon, that means he's not creating it. Okay, so the interdimensional rift would be the only location that Ultima is credited to have created. A place beyond space and time, 516 related to the heart of Dark Drake's spine and the Ultima that is the true form of the Mother Crystal. The interdimensional to the dark void full of structures flowing in midair with no apparent end to the landscape or an entrance. Humanoid stations is an unrevisable location. The rift looks different from the pocket dimensions other Ultimas in the collective that pulled Clive Rossfield into before, such as before Typhoon the Transgressor at Drake's head. An interdimensional rift has matter flowing about and is shrouded in darkness. The in-game lore implies that the rift exists inside Ultima's mind. The in-game lore implies the rift exists inside of Ultima's mind and was created by Ultima. Here we go. In order for her to test the strength of the Vesmith's Ultima Lord Colin Joshua deep into the shadowy depths of his fractured mind, where he faced the brothers. Yeah. And the remnants of his Earth's flesh, the Infernal Icon, a place beyond space and time, termed the rift between worlds by the dark and our dark by its creator. What is this? The interdimensional rift. There is some bias, in reference to what? Place beyond space and time, darkness, sun, deity, inflicted conflagrations. A place beyond space and time to pair. Forcibly summoned by the Romad adventure to close upon fighting. Uh, I want to get to your guys' comments. My apologies. Okay, so couldn't find anything there on that one. As Vessel can hold power, man, can't wait. Didn't die too much power, only suffers no power. Which entails moving him and all of his siblings. Let's see. Buffy versus Blade. The final fight is not a mental mindscape. If that's the case, why is it? Okay, so I'll have to. So the final fight is we'll look at that one last. So Clive is base. Are you gonna react to Clive vs. Dante? Yes. Fun people do it to Death Battle showing they should have won due to Death Battle's logic. There are a few Death Battles where the character should have lost. Okay, so okay. Okay, so these two I'll have to react to, and also this guy as well. So let's see here. So Clive is base form who defeated a person who created a muscle crystal. Doesn't scale above. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Hang on. I'm gonna refresh again because I'm gonna see if he responded to it.
Dies because he got too much power.
Also, I don't know who Muhammad's supposed to be. Okay. So I'll respond to that one afterwards. Okay. So Clive's defeating Muhammad muscle crystal doesn't scale hard. If a person A beats person B, the person A created universe. Person A is universal. At this point, I don't even. Okay. Okay. So gonna need to get all the Kyles. Lol. I think it means Bahamut. Well, Muhammad never. Well, Bahamut never destroyed. Well, then where's the universe statement then? Because this would be like the fucking plane he's talking about. Yeah, I know, because this is just Clive's experiences within the Arsenal do not appear to be bound by fundamental laws of time. They just go by real quickly, and he doesn't go anywhere because it's a dreamscape. Okay, chronoliths. Maybe it's chronoliths. Those similar to Arya stones and how they function, seeming to draw Clive into a reality parallel with our own. These solitary events differ in that the challenges presented Clive and places between places are more focused and more limited in their scope. They can also be found across Storm and Ash. Engulfed in bright light before transporting him to an expansive hall wherein he encounters a slowly advancing horde of creatures of all shapes, strengths, and sizes. However, unlike the Hall of Virtue, where he might control the wills of his foes, these act of their own volition, or perhaps Ultima's, though their purpose seems singular to slay Clive at all costs. One other difference is that Clive's uncanny ability to wield the talents of those dominants he has encountered will be limited to a single element here. That element seemingly being chosen by the chronolith itself. Could this be an enemy's Ultima made to hone his abilities? Okay, so I think I think your guys' reactions are hilarious. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed Sketchbook. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Encountering travels to the perhaps is drawn to his memories. Why would he allow himself to be manipulated so? Is he honing his skills in this other world, simply making himself so? My enemy has gifted me a weapon. I could choose to lay it down and watch as he takes from me everything I hold dear. I could choose to take it up and slay him. But to do that, I must first learn how to use it, and that is what I will do. So here we go. These mysterious cornerstones yearly manner urging him to find skills suggested uncanny. Is an ancient term. Complete realization of potential is plausible with these stones. Or create a before he enters according to Clive's own personal accounts. Single place on a stone will cause him to be engulfed in a solid worldly radiance. When the light fades, he'll find himself transported to a vast crystalline cavern that he somehow knows to be called the Hall of Virtue. As in a dream, Clive will not sustain physical injury during his activities. So it's not directly saying he does go into a dream, to be fair, but the fact that people on the outside literally just see him touch it and then put his hand down, unless we get a statement saying time stops or something, that would just be like more of a mental landscape thing. Okay, so Clive and okay, let's see what he said.
Crystal, and that's what would have got them to planet level. Bahamut with the crystal, and
Okay, so I guess he's talking about Bahamut.
that's what would have got them to planet level. But that's also assuming unless you want to like stretch the power boost he gets from the Phoenix, where he becomes Ifrit.
Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so Muhammad is Bahamut or Bahamut. What's the highest scaling for Clive? Well, people are claiming universal, and I'm doing my best to figure out where that comes from. Okay. So Clive's base form, who defeated the person who created Bahamut in a muscle crystal, doesn't scale above Bahamut when he fused with her mother crystal. Okay, so I think I understand the issue here. Okay. Assuming Muhammad is did I misspell Bahamut? What did I misspell? No, I spelled correctly. Lion doesn't need that. Who created one? Oh, okay, so this one's a reference to Clive. Or this is a reference to Kyle. Is Infine popular? No, not even close. Okay, no. Okay, because I got confused. Okay, so he's criticizing Kyle because Kyle is of the position that Ultima does not scale above Bahamut with the crystal. Now, I disagree with that. No, there's not that many comments, just one guy. That's criticism in that regard. If person A beats person B, created a person B, and person B created. I'm not at this point. I can't even say that you guys don't know anything on Final Fantasy 16. I can say I can't even say you guys know Final Fantasy. So you can just and so you're just going to act like you're just going to go off of what you see. But if you don't know anything, go on do research. Take time to recharge. It's like how you reach the research of DMC to fairly compare universe. So let's see here. Can you so okay, so because I'm not trying to be rude here because I don't think this guy's trying to be rude. To be fair, I was planning to fully research 16 after its official lore book comes out next year. If you have a direct piece of evidence for universal creation, please point me in that direction. Holy shit, what the fuck? Oh, it's Mangler. Because I was given an argument, but the problem is that there's no real scaling to be had here. Hang on. Okay, well, we don't need that one open. We don't need the 1,000 tomes open either. Don't need the big videos open either. He's definitely trying to be condescending. To be fair, we weren't exactly nice about it, so I'm not gonna sit here and fucking act like, listen. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. You can as long as you're giving Frank West versus Neo, as long as you give the same energy back, that's fine. Like if you're just being a dick for no reason, that's an issue. But for whatever, well, thankfully, it's not quite dick for no reason. Okay, Josh knows that Odin was playing with him. He was having fun. He wasn't going all out. If I want to be like you, okay, so is this me? And that's what I was going to mention as well, is they mention Odin bisecting the sea in the video, and he does. But Joshua stops the bisecting and holds the blast at bay until his friends get out of the way. So... Okay, so... Odin versus... Oh, well, hang on. I should do it like this. FF16... Odin versus... I'm actually going to say Phoenix. Hang on. Josh was able to block it. Dante has examples of blocking it. Odin as a
Odin as a weapon should not be a threat to Dante because he's also tank direct blows from Yamato with.
How am I being disingenuous here?
Ugh, finally connected. My goodness.
I'm not really quite sure how I'm being disingenuous here. I don't even say that the sword can cut through everything. I'm providing an example of a character in the verse who blocks the attack. Also, hello, Mangler. Hang on. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Where one
Wasn't expecting to see you here.
so does the other follow.
Well, I was awake. I saw you stream, but I didn't see a game streaming, and I was like, huh, what's going on down there?
Now, I'm trying to respond to the comments from yesterday's video that we posted, because quite a few people brought up were very displeased with our position, so I'm trying to be as fair as possible and try and find the evidence they're claiming exists.
What part of your position were they displeased with?
Yet my every attempt to...
You know, actually, ironically enough, it's more so just a few statements. It's not the whole thing, because I haven't seen anyone bring up speed or anything either. So it's not like they disagree with our position. It's more so they feel like we're just too, like, unfair to Clive, is what I can gather.
Hmm.
And to be fair, I understand why. For whatever reason, a lot of people online feel that Clive is like multiversal. Yet my every attempt to strike it from the
strike it from their hearts serves only to tighten its hold.
Right,
I mean, what all did you claim?
Well, currently right now, I'm being disingenuous for bringing up that a character blocks an attack that's supposed to cut through space. But I don't ever say the attack doesn't. I just bring up that it can be blocked and how Dante's blocked a similar attack because Yamato does a similar thing to cutting through everything.
I'm
not quite sure.
Why would that make you disingenuous? Because aren't there attacks in Final Fantasy 16 that can cut through space? I mean, if you're bringing up an example from DMC to show the same thing, I don't understand how that would be disingenuous.
Well, that's why I'm confused. So
unless they believe you're downplaying Yamato, but I very much doubt that's the position being argued here.
So here's Odin's attack. I think Soul Calibur Green Calibur Sniper would have been pretty cool.
I'm not doing Frank West versus Neo. It's never happening so much. It's not fantasy. I mean, so I need to be that guy, but like, whenever we have a conversation about a DMC character, it seems to be the case that people don't seem to understand that you have to go over like the energy system and all the hacks and everything. And even if you believe Dante was weaker and slower and had a worse arsenal than Clive, which I don't even believe the Clive scalers actually think that. All of those things. I don't even believe they can convince themselves of that much copium. What would be the argument for them even being able to kill Dante, survive his energy system, or any of his hacks? Like, because they don't even believe that.
It really isn't fair to Clive because Dante has so much material compared to Clive. Yeah, I said that. I also said that on yesterday's video, or on the video. I said that it's really unfair that they put Dante up against Clive when Dante literally has vastly more material to work with.
Dante's got 25 years worth of source material. Clive has like
a year. A game.
Has Final Fantasy 16 even been out a year?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's a year old now. It's to clarify, it's not. They weren't really complaining about our Dante scaling. They believed we were just unfair to Final Fantasy 16. It was more
that's not a good argument to make, to be clear.
Well, I don't think any of them believe Clive wins.
I understand that, but like in this kind of circumstance, in this matchup, this is like one of the worst arguments you could take because you're fighting such a massive uphill battle that any argument you can make for people being quote unquote unfair to Clive only matters if you were talking about it in the context of a matchup where the result would actually be different.
So here's Barnabas. Barnabas has become Odin. This is his most powerful form. He's charging up his sword. Joshua even references it's in earnest. And I believe here's where Barnabas uses the slice that cuts through everything. Yeah. And I believe the ocean actually stays parted at this point. Yes, it'll stay parted for the majority of this section. Really cool scene. But so that's the attack. So I don't know where I'm being disingenuous here, because I'm not saying the attack doesn't cut through everything. He holds it back. That's Odin's most powerful form, and Odin charges up the attack. Even if Odin could do more, this is still a cut that cuts through everything. Or it's supposed to anyway. Okay, let me go. Say, why didn't Virgil cut through the rocket launcher, or why didn't Virgil cut through Red Queen? Correct me if I'm wrong, but do we have any cutscenes of Virgil clashing with the Red Queen, or is it just the little blade slices between them?
Just the lady meme cutscene. And to be clear, he's trying to have a conversation with her. It's kind of like the worst disingenuous argument you could make, because like he cuts through better things in that very game. He literally cuts through parts of the demon world on his way to Arkham. You literally see the wall of the demon world and that space they're in cut open, because that's where Virgil entered the arena from. There's no way you can argue that the Kalina Ann is more durable than that wall. Just can't.
Actually, does he deflect the attack technically, or does he just move it out of the way? I mean, it doesn't matter for whatever reason. I feel like he actually moved the slice. He actually deflects it. Whatever. Okay, so let me respond to this guy here. And then we'll get to the final guy at the bottom over there.
Are you talking about this attack?
Yes. Are you watching? Yeah. Here, I'll go back for you real fast.
Yeah. No, he deflected that.
So that.
No, I just watched that. So while it does clash with whatever barriers he sends it away.
Pull up Dante's and there's no travel. Hang on. F16. F16 content will probably be in Dissidia at some point. How did Jane think he can beat Dante with universal scaling? So most people do not scale Dante above like Uni Plus or low multi. If you believe Clive is Uni, you more than likely would get that from Ultima, and most people believe Ultima is Uni at base. So when Ultima merges with the other Ultimas, they would assume there's an AP stomp there. It's going to be Uni Plus for the balance argument, but it's not a multiverse in the dream. There's no travel to the realm showcasing it. Pull up Dante using the Yamato to cut through the artificial hell gates. No, it's like, I'm just confused where I'm being disingenuous in my position, because he's claiming the guy is holding back, and yes, Odin could be holding back in the sense that he's not using all of his attacks. That doesn't mean that his attack that's supposed to cut through everything still doesn't just not cut through everything.
I would like to point out that the attack that you showcased there on the screen, the guy that was who's the big red dragon? I haven't played 16. I'm just.
That is Joshua. That's a Phoenix.
Okay, so Joshua's barrier catches it, but it doesn't actually take the attack directly because it's just holding it at bay without it making contact with his body, and he sends it away before it actually hits his body.
So my position is that proves that with enough energy, you can block the blade that's supposed to cut through everything in that game, because all Phoenix has is magic energy. But I did also point out that Yamato also cuts through space, and Dante can block that with his basic sword, so there's no reason to assume that Odin's weapon would be special to Dante.
Sure, but I want to point out
I
that based on what
join,
that
but I'm not allowed.
based on what that cutscene shows, that character that was blocking it clearly didn't want it to hit him under any circumstances, so he sent it the fuck away.
Hold on, Mangler. You want to head over to your server so Kyle can join us? Because apparently he's still restricted.
Oh yes, that's why.
I'll let Kyle defend himself. That's it. Their AP is buffed when they are combined, and if so, how much? Their AP would be buffed. You don't need a statement for that one. They can't fuck with Bahamut. Mangler.
Yes.
All right, Kyle, we're in MW. Fucking slot. So,
Jeremy knows what's up.
Yeah, according to the wiki, the interdimensional rift is in his mind, which is where we got the Mindscape thing from. We'll watch the fight a little further as we go along. So let me reply to him. That should have been lightning. I have no idea why we're not using lightning for this. Well, here, let me finish what I say, because maybe I said something that was disingenuous.
No issues.
I have arrived.
Again, this is assuming they don't just give him Yamato as well.
I
So on top of the
went
time slow, as they
to the-
mentioned, cloning, Clive, as far as I know, can't clone.
Okay. Yeah, no. I need to.
So, did you go over that shit cunt's comments about trying to fight me?
Which one?
The shit cunt who thinks that he wants to debate me on Ultima having a universe and fucking whether or not Odin was going easy on Joshua.
So I'm going to respond to the Odin and Joshua one. I did try and find universes statements. I can't find any. The stones that I believe someone mentions where you can go into like the separate realm to learn about the abilities. So you know how Final Fantasy 16 is gained an official lore book, right?
Yeah.
So that page is actually available to look at that talks about those stones for those training grounds. So, what Clive says is Clive touches the rock, blue energy surrounds him, and he appears in a new location. What everyone else sees outside is Clive touches the rock, and then he takes his hand off the rock, and nothing else.
Okay. And?
So it would just support the position that it's more of a mindscape that the stones send you to rather than different dimensions.
Yes.
Because it also states that Clive will not sustain physical damage as in a dream, so it's similar to being in a dream.
I mean, if the perspective of the game shows him not moving from the perspective of the other characters from the duration that he's touching an object, you would assume his consciousness is being transported elsewhere.
Yes, that's what we assumed during the Ultimate fight. Did you happen to
So
show
why is it that these people believe that something is being created? What evidence have they provided for that position?
None. They wanted because the boss fight with Ultima is really fucking cool, and it really kills your momentum when you figure out that.
Hang on.
Let me provide some context.
Kyle, I want the answer from Zim because he's actually going to give me an answer, and you're just going to keep yapping.
I gave you an answer.
So
no, because if that were true, Zim would have given me the same one.
So the reason they believe Ultima can create a universe and stuff of that nature is because Ultima is credited with creating the interdimensional rift, a place beyond time and space. Here's the problem. According to the descriptions in the game, for that place, the interdimensional rift, the place beyond time and space, here is the quote. In order to further test the strength of the vessel Mythos, Ultima lured both Clive and Joshua deep into the shadowy depths of his fractured mind, where he faced the brothers clad in the remnants of his flesh, the Infernal Icon, and a place beyond space and time termed the Rift Between Worlds and Our Darkness by its creator. So the place exists in his mind. He's dragging him into his mind. Now, this is where scaling the mindscape gets complicated. I do believe Ultima has creation powers. Even if it is a mindscape, being able to drag people into it would give you creational abilities.
It would it would within that, it would not be scalable.
So this depends on if he can reproduce the same feat in an actual physical space. If he cannot, then that does not matter.
Yeah, so that's the issue, is that he never does anything within the physical space.
Okay, then fuck their position. Fuck their position then.
Hold on.
I thought their position was simply that, like, when Clive, I don't know, does this cutscene or whatever, his body actually transmits to like a different location or something, and that might lend credence to him being at a different thing. But if he's standing there and other characters recognize that he's still standing there during the duration of the scene, and the game points out he's being pulled into the mind of the final boss, you would assume it's a mind space.
Well, no, because this is the problem, is why I asked him if he showed you the Typhoon fight. Because that would show you what happens after the Typhoon fight.
No, because we have to look at the Ultima fight. The Typhoon fight isn't under contention of being a mindscape. It's the Ultima fight. But hang on, I have to actually go Odin versus
it does matter.
Actually,
it does matter because the Typhoon fight takes place in the same place as the Ultima fight.
So yes and no. It is in an interdimensional rift, but I don't believe it's actually confirmed to be the same one because they look different.
They look the same. They're the exact same with the first phase of the fight.
Not exactly, no.
I'd say Freddy Krueger, but he gets, Clive would probably lose to physical.
Hang on.
It'd be like Guts versus
I'm
Nigger
watching the
again.
fights on stream right now. Hang on. Okay, so the guy's claim is that Odin fires an energy slice, but not a spatial slice, even though the ocean stays parted for an extended period of time, which I feel like would kind of imply it's a more powerful slice. But he's claiming the space slices look different. So let's see.
So what I basically told him with that is, unless you have a statement that says that Odin has different kinds of slashes, you would attribute any slash done by his sword to be a spatial cut.
Well, that would be my position, is that like all of his cuts would just have that property.
So Hitchin's razor, if you don't have evidence that it's an energy cut other than the visuals, it's a spatial cut. That's it. If you can't present evidence for that claim, it can be completely dismissed without evidence.
I'll have to look into the guidebook to make sure. I'll have to check Odin's moveset.
Well, if they're not providing evidence, then you don't have to provide evidence to explain why they're wrong. Simple ontological razor.
Yeah, well, no, because all of the attacks are fucking red. Was the energy blast not red? Am I tripping balls?
I mean, I don't know if it really matters what color it is. The fact is that if an energy blast... It doesn't matter, because if an energy blast cuts the ocean in half and it remains parted, I would never assume that's a normal energy blast. That's not... Energy isn't supposed to disperse water for an extended period of time. That's not how physics works. Physics wouldn't stop functioning unless there wasn't a space for the physics to be applied to.
So he's gonna get me the universal scan later, is what the young family said. So hopefully he'll provide me that scan later.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Dead family.
Well, I want to see where this argument comes from. So it's like I'm more than happy to see that.
Yeah, I sent a message to one of those guys in the comments.
Not bad feet.
That was... Not for this video, for the Digital T one, because he basically said, I think Doomslayer slams, and a bunch of people were responding to it. And I was like, well, you're free to show up to the streams if you'd like. We're available at these times. Bring your evidence and your arguments. I'll be happy to see you there. And I just left my message, so.
So, the best argument I can make in favor of the slices not being spatial cutting, which again I don't agree with, is just that it's not a thin slice, I guess?
That doesn't even... That's so bad. What are these Tony arguments?
No, you know what? You know what? When Virgil opens up a portal, it's not a dimensional slice because it's a bigger slice.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's actually just a time-space slice. It's not even affecting the dimension, because if it were approximately 3 foot larger, it'd be a dimensional slice. Everybody knows this. It's not drawn to scale. Poor Virgil not going to school and getting his math right.
Well, to be honest, I'm not even sure why anyone would take this position, because this would just make Odin worse in terms of, like...
No, he's
whatever it takes.
He's taking this position. Odin going easy on Joshua. And I told him, like, Odin doesn't have to be going easy to not kill Joshua. Joshua's shield can just be that good.
So the thing about Joshua is that, Odin is holding back in the sense that he's not actually taking the fight seriously, but you would not assume that means the attack he launched wouldn't be a serious attack. It's just that he himself is not taking the fight seriously.
So that wouldn't matter if you're throwing an attack with special properties. It doesn't lose those properties because you're deciding, I don't know, not to use your entire arsenal. Terrible argument.
The only person that you can argue that, like, Odin has no reason to kill because it goes against the plans is Clive.
Well, I do believe
Everyone
Odin as a character doesn't want... I do believe Barnabas wants to break Clive's bonds first, not outright sever them. In the way that, like, just killing them. It's just that I need a... It's just that...
You said the same thing twice.
He's such a worse fighter if you believe that not all of his attacks have that property. Why do modern Final Fantasy games always be cussing? Because this game has a lot of cussing specifically because they want it to be more mature. Man, so good. You are commenting on a lot of shit.
And they think that, well, their intention for 16 was to try and make a darker, more grittier Final Fantasy, but as we went through the streams and pointed out, there are other Final Fantasy titles that are darker.
Yes,
and don't have
much
to be
darker
this
Final
like
Fantasy
vulgar
than
and
16.
crap.
Seems like they didn't have a problem with making it dark. They just had a problem with making ethics.
Or a cohesive story.
That's what I've heard.
FF13-2 had the end of time. It's pretty fucking dark. Imagine being the last humans on Earth.
Remember the 2 big pretty dark.
God, I forgot how shit the icon forms are. I don't even know what those are. One hit and he's out of the pool.
Okay, to be as fair as possible with Clive, I am assuming it's because it's a spatial attack that it just deals more damage to him.
Well, as shown with the Titan fight, you hit them hard enough, you can knock them out of their icon form.
Yes.
Because Clive knocks Hugo out of his Titan form.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna need a statement confirming he wasn't using the spatial kind abilities. Because I mean,
That's worse than the cage forms.
Well, the attack
depends on the forms.
Blue for a lot of his Virgil moves, so maybe that was the argument. That the red attacks are more normal and the blue attacks are spatial cutting ones.
The moment you turned your back on us.
But you keep your forms encaged if you get hit. Yeah, but you can't even use them under normal circumstances if we're talking about 2s. They only really became actual dried forms in 3. I would rather have a form that I can get hit out of and use repeatedly than a form where I require specific people to be near me in order to activate.
You know what?
That's just a shit form.
Clive does never really use like a mid-transformation form, does he? Now that I think about it.
Well, he has the
Sora has over 200 forms to choose from. It's 200. You said 10 there, weirdly.
Yeah, no. Like he has the arms form for like the different versions, but he doesn't really have like a mid form, does he?
No, it's fire form and then into Ifrit.
Yeah.
These form changes are good because they have actual variety. Yeah, and they don't require you to be mapped to like a specific person. He can use them on his own.
I actually really hope Dissidia creates another fighting game soon, because I think playing as the 16 characters would be a lot of fun. Just being able to transform into a giant monster in the middle of the fight would be a lot of fun for those arena games.
Well,
it works better in lore versus gameplay.
What was that, Kyle?
No, it works better in lore and gameplay.
Kyle, fix your mic. Here we go. No,
Yeah, he sounded kind of underwater.
Hang on. He's charging up the attack.
Charging his attack.
Okay, so this is a stronger attack than what Joshua took. Well, it's a bigger sword. No, it's red. Yeah, no, so you would just assume the sword has all those properties.
Is this better?
That's better, thank you.
Yes.
Oh, and here's Clive.
I was gonna say, why do you want them to transform halfway through like a Dissidia fight? Why? So everyone else on the battlefield can snipe them?
Give them super armor.
Bro, it'll be like in the fucking Dragon Ball games when they transform into the giant ape. Sounds good in theory, but then you just get dogpiled.
Hang on, I'm gonna
Your speed goes down. The only stat that works is your melee damage.
I'm gonna look up Odin. Is there a 16 Odin? There's not. I'm gonna continue.
I was gonna say in Cage 3, it wasn't just in lore that the Keyblade drive forms were better from Cage 3. In gameplay, they were also better. They had better mobility, better options, better tools and resources, and they didn't require your teammates. So if your teammates went down for whatever reason, you could keep using them. They also didn't require a special resource to go into. They just required you to be good at the game.
Hey, Zen, before I forget, when you have time, let me know if the cards are good or need some changes. I did already print the cards out, so I'll take a look at them and let you know. The Blade of Darkness, who rides in the battle atop his spectral steed, and whose black blade is said to be sharp enough to split the very seas in twain. There are, I believe, spatial crane statements for his attacks, though.
They are. I remember that specifically. I think it's either in when Clive gets the power, or I think Barnabas says it himself.
Well, I think Barnabas says that he can cut anything up, like anything, into. I believe is what Barnabas says. I think he says it in the fight here.
Would you use Sora's Cage 3 forms versus Clive's Icon forms? The only thing I know about Clive's Icon form is that he can be knocked out of it. I don't even know what it looks like. Again, guys, I'm not the one doing Clive's portion. Like, when I cover the death battle at some point, I'm not going to be talking about, like, Clive's arsenal. I am just going to give logical, rational reasons for why most of Dante's hacks can affect, like, another person. And, like, what Dante's abilities and powers and things are. And that if Clive can't survive these things, he dies. Very simple.
Clive starts getting tired of the fight against Odin, and that's why he loses the icon form.
Don't tell me you are.
Clive gets tired, subhuman intensifies.
Your stubborn defiance has stirred my long becalmed heart.
Clive, get up, please, bro. Get a Gatorade.
That I have not known for generations.
Get a Snickers.
Barnabas
You're not
seems
you when you're
fucking
hungry.
Age is weird.
Fuck, that joke would have been really... That joke would have killed if we did it when he was going after Hugo. Damn it.
What?
You know when Clive gets super shitty at Hugo when they're together? Just give him a Snickers, you're not you when you're hungry. You've got personality when you're hungry.
Barnabas being mad near the end of the fight always felt a little weird to me. It's fine, but it was just always just been a little bit out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty fucking sure you would just give the spatial cutting to all of his attacks, but I'm gonna double check the Ultimania later, because if it's really just one attack and cut through space, then fucking, oh, that's a massive downgrade.
Does that even change anything for Clive's scaling, or does that just nerf Odin for no particular reason?
Because, so I was under the impression that all of Odin's attacks had the spatial cutting property, and the other icons just had to deal with that shit. But if it's just one attack only can cut through space, that would be ass.
That would also mean not only would he only have one attack, wouldn't that also mean that almost none of the characters can actually block it?
Yeah, but
Because
I
it's
really
not
don't
being.
believe that's the case.
Because here's the thing though, if it's
Twix
one
does not
specific attack that's being used, then you'd have to prove they were all getting hit by that specific attack.
Hold on.
But the only person...
Twix does not neg dip Snickers. Let's get that one straight, Jeremy. I don't care about your opinions, but Twix does not neg dip.
Who the
fuck brought Twix to the conversation with a Snickers?
Jeremy saying that Twix neg dips Snickers.
We must purge the heretic.
Get better taste of chocolate. Fucking Twix.
This is why you're a salamander.
Bro.
For reals.
Bro, give me a fucking Kit Kat over a fucking Twix.
Kit Kats are pretty good.
I haven't had Kit Kats in so long.
3 combo B. What else did you steal, Clive? How many moves are you going to steal?
From what I was told, Clive stole a lot of moves from the boys.
Why don't just have Goku be his fucking... Why don't just have Goku be his opponent since they both steal moves from other people?
Does it matter? Uncle better? Kit Kat is better than both?
All I'm hearing
sorry.
are L takes.
What did you just say?
Ain't no way someone's out
Oh,
here peppering
what
Twix.
did you just say, Sparta? There is no way a Kit Kat is better than a Hershey's. You heretic!
Kit Kat's good. I'm not sure if I call it better than Hershey's personally. See, it's Nero's moves. I think he actually took one of Gladio's moves from Final Fantasy 15 too.
Oh, a good character.
Clive, please, I need you to stop stealing everyone's moveset.
Clive, instead of stealing a move, how did you steal a personality?
To be perfectly honest, I think one of the most disappointing things about 16 is how every other character seems to be more of a, like, interesting character than Clive was. And I don't necessarily think your main character has to be, like, the greatest thing since sliced bread, but...
He just doesn't have to be the worst.
Yeah.
If he's the worst, then that's a problem.
There's only a handful of characters who actually are genuinely good characters, like Dick, Byron, and
Sparta, you never had a Hershey's?
everyone else is a.
Well, you've never
a
been hungry then. Sparta, before you die, we will get you a Hershey's.
Oh, actually, Zim, do you remember the fact of like Gab and Byron could kill multiple Slipneers? The same one that could like give Clive trouble.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. Yeah, so technically Barnabas has been alive for, I think, 1,000 years? Which is really weird, because he's the only icon who's lived a long time.
And yet he hasn't conquered all the other kingdoms.
To be fair, I don't think he intended to. I think that was more so he was just trying to keep his kingdom in check for the day Ultima came back. Because Barnabas doesn't have what it takes to, he doesn't have the will to conquer. All Barnabas is a glorified priest. Shout out Virgil, Judgment could end.
We'll know in a few days whether or not they fucking get the matchup right.
When is it coming out? Is it Sunday?
I believe it comes out Friday early, I believe, or do they not do early releases anymore?
They don't do early releases anymore. It's coming your Sunday. Early releases were stupid anyway because people used to steal the fight and like post the fight anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say it never really worked out because people could always spoil it, especially for something that's intended to bring that much money in. Patrons probably hated that, even if they could see it early.
Yeah, because it just takes one person to have the subscription to video, like to basically screen record the entire episode and then just, you know, put it onto a server or put it onto like YouTube.
Hello, Fish. Comes out on Saturday, yeah. The G1 blog releases on Saturday, though. Does it now?
Oh, does it? Oh, great.
The G1 blog comes out Saturday?
Zim, that sounds like content.
Well, I mean...
That sounds...
That's gonna be a long Saturday.
Wow.
Alright, so then
Let's
going back to this one, okay, so Virgil can choose what he wants to cut. This also demonstrated with the Earl, where he saved KD and Lady wasn't a priority, so it's consistency. Joshua literally said that the battle, the one who was dominated was Clive. It just means he was stronger. Dominance, no, he can be stronger, not holding back. Phoenix Shield. So I'm not sure where it says only some of Odin's attacks can cut space.
I'll probably see you tomorrow. I'm gonna head out now.
You slut.
Thank you for joining us, mate.
Yeah, for everyone, is there Space Marine stream tomorrow?
Yes.
In the afternoon.
For everyone who's interested, Sly Cooper is still going ahead. And Zim may or may not join.
Sly Cooper today?
No, tomorrow.
I was gonna say, what the fuck?
No, today's Thursday. Jesus.
Well, no, that's why I got confused for a second. I've been told by blog members it's pretty close. So then they
pretty close.
So they give Clive then uni plus scaling. Then is that what I'm being told?
Oh,
wait, how is the speed close then? Because okay, well I mean we'll wait and see then.
Woosa. You know what it is? They've never accepted immeasurable DMC.
Well, no, because like what fucking feats? Because well, I guess Sess, I guess I'll just ask.
Beyond time and space, they're going to give him inaccessible because I'm pretty sure the highest they're going to give Dante is inaccessible.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is that going to be the case where they both get inaccessible?
That's the only way you can do it. Otherwise, Clive had no light speed feat that even linked to EMC's boost.
I guess that would be the argument then, inaccessible for both of them.
Not true, but hey, you guys keep being wrong.
Beyond space and time would not, or do they scale Clive to higher dimension? You know what? I'm very curious what G1 Blog is going to say now. I thought G1 Blog would have been pretty clear that this is going to be a set, easy, cut and done match. So that's going to be rather interesting.
They think it's rather close. What the fuck do they think that Clive can do to Dante's Blue Factor?
Well, I'm very curious to hear how that one's going to go. I'm not going to respond to this last guy. We already covered most of it here. Universal Clive can be applied in actually, no, we'll read this real quickly. Your reasons are asked. Clive will definitely get scaled to Universal to the ultimate creation feat, which is the mat. If the mat's performed is actually faster than Moondus' feat. Alright, so let's continue watching the Ultima fight.
Look at me, Joshua.
There we go. So Ultima
And thus does the
emerges.
final piece fall into place. The incantation primed, but one task remains. To empty the vessel.
Wow.
What the hell?
They look so
Oh, it's
peaceful.
commercial.
He's never.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have now entered the final battle arena with Ultima. We've been taken to a different location. Now, keep in mind, the Ultima did not create this space technically. This place would already exist. The interdimensional rift's a place that already exists. This wouldn't be a creation fee on its own.
You're still here. With me. To the end. Always will. As we always have. And always will.
Well, you can't technically scale the speed of this feat in its entirety.
My sword, I swear,
because we don't see
shield
how far the realm
fire and flame.
extends.
Forevermore.
Now keep in mind, this is a mindscape. This is, or at least, the interdimensional rift is a mindscape. If you believe this is the interdimensional rift, this would still be an Ultima's mind. Now, at the current moment, I don't think that means he doesn't have power. It's just that anything you see created here may not scale effectively or one-to-one because it's a mental landscape. It'd be like when you dream up the night sky in your head. That would be the same thing going on here. That's why mindscapes are pretty hard to scale unless you can bring it into reality or something to that effect.
So, I don't know if I have a little bit of Mandela effect, but do we have a statement that the universe that Mundus created stretches endlessly? Was it something like that?
I think the Kaito Shinzo guide says it's an endless realm of darkness.
Yeah, so if that's the case, it's already, like, even if you want to try and say that Ultima's feat technically activates faster, and I'm giving devil's advocate that this is a feat that can be replicated in the actual world. Mundus would still be faster because it's infinitely bigger. You don't have a size statement for Ultimas.
And I'm not going to respond to this guy.
You just-
Basically, we have more stages and more feats. Continue. Kyle,
I was going to say, like, you would just assume it. It's just a normal size universe.
Because it's not so easily broken.
Okay. And then it's also, how is it your will yet endures? So that's also a problem too, is that Clive's power is very much connected to his will and his willpower.
Because it's not so easily broken.
So that's why. That's why. Also, that attack right there. This one. I believe the Ultimania guidebook does confirm that as a space-time rift that Ultima is creating with this slice.
For such is my will.
So, while this is a battle of wills, it is... There is some literalness to the fight itself, but it's mainly just a battle of will. That's why it's kind of a weird feat to scale. And also, again, this area is not quite that big. It does get bigger, though. It does get bigger.
Listen, I'm just going to put it to you this way. If you are fine with Ultima being scaled universal here, you are absolutely fine with Orochimaru being universal because you've created a mindscape in Naruto.
Technically, if you take this logic as universal, you would technically have to argue a position where Genjutsus make Naruto characters universal.
Yeah, you would have to argue that. You'd basically be agreeing with the sentiment that the Infinite Tsukuyomi is like multiversal because it creates universes in people's heads.
I mean, we'll just see. We'll wait and see, because now you're telling me G1 blog says it's close. Now I'm very curious what they say.
Now I want to mention this before, like, before we ever hop off. I don't believe the Infinite Tsukuyomi is multiversal. I don't believe that whatsoever. I just want to make that clear.
What latent force feeds these flames?
I wonder then if it's gonna come down.
More here than the other. Is this no
It can't come down to hacks. There's no fucking way.
See, I wonder if this does come down to hacks.
You are not a god. You are but flesh and bone. You are not
Man, I'm very interested if they're gonna.
Stamina, maybe even healing factor.
all of you.
I'm gonna be very interested in seeing if they're gonna try and claim that Dante's not even 16 times universal.
See, okay, here we go. So this is where the uni-potential feat comes in.
Once perhaps. But we are no longer yours. Our flames are our own, and they burn as one.
Now remember, you've been sucked to a different location already. And if this is the interdimensional rift, this will be in Ultima's mind.
Have you learned nothing? Damned is the slave who will turn the spirit upon his master.
If you believe this feat is universal, though, I have a little bit of bad news here. This will be Ultima at the height of his power being universal. Not any other form. So it would be Ultima combined with all of his amps would be able to perform this feat. Even if it's done casually, you wouldn't downscale it to the other forms. No, by all accounts, this should be a universal feat. The only problem is that it happens in a mindscape. Because the interdimensional rift is a mindscape. It's not the visuals that's the problem. It's not even the assertion. It's just that it's where the fight.
It's the location.
The problem.
This is like me and Zim's like ultimate like shit fest is where it's located.
When this first happened on stream, you can go back to our stream where we went through this boss fight. We were so excited to fight something, and then we found out, fuck, it was all in the mind, and we deflated like the lead.
Like, again, this is why I'm surprised this death battle's happening so soon, because we're gonna get an official guidebook. Now, granted, the Ultimania probably has all the information that guidebook's going to have. I'm sure it'll have basically everything. But it's still like, why not wait? We're getting more lore.
Enough. With fire shall fire be prepared.
Nope.
It's like, as I said during the prediction, the only reason I can think they're not waiting is that they're convinced that there's nothing in the guide that's going to happen, that there's the outcome.
Yeah, it's possible. also remember that when Clive left the fight, he was in the throne room when he fought Ultima, or like in the crystal room. We're gonna skip a little bit ahead here because he's not gonna let the attack go off.
And on to the end.
Oh, and also to be clear, you are playing as Ifrit Risen, so you are playing as the same Ifrit that fought Bahamut with the crystal. Okay.
No. My will is inviolable. Something is wrong.
You're afraid. You always have been. From the moment the Blight exposed what you were, weak, you conceived us to prove otherwise. But the results shook you to the core. For in us you saw yourself, and realized we had the potential to be more than you could ever be. And so you turned your back on your creation. Your back on the world, like the coward you are.
You think you know me? You know nothing, Logos. Nothing.
I believe this is this is the final fight. Or the final form of the fight, if I recall correctly.
It is.
Makes Bahamut look like a bitch. Here we go.
Bathed in light I stand above you, my rebirth complete. And you, for your defiance, shall pay the proper price. An eternity of anguish.
Anguish, pain, suffering. You have known none of these. We have. So we know what they grant. They bring us together. And that makes us strong.
Okay, here we go. So, this will be the most powerful form of Ultima. So I was wrong, you did get one more amp. And I guess that's what a 16 times increase goes in. But Clive hasn't gotten stronger. So, if we're going to argue Ultima received a 16 times amp, then he's receiving it, and then Clive immediately matches it with no other, like, wait in time. Which doesn't make sense unless you believe Clive was stopping the last form.
And all the ones previous.
Yes. Because since the fight started, he's already emerged with Joshua. It's the power of hope or French with your Persona fan. I know at some point I'll play FF 13.
Have you got to the end of the boss fight where you wake up back in Ultima, in Origin?
Well, that's what I'm checking right now. Like, we're getting there, so I'm trying to show the whole fight so everyone has the full context. Dion doesn't get a voice line when he uses Bahamut, but everyone else gets their form if they're his allies. Just Dion doesn't. Poor Dion.
Darkness, unending.
Onward, my son.
which you pray.
It was interesting going through the streams again and realizing how much all of them are basically mentally unstable children.
I'm pretty sure there's no more clashes after this. It's just oh, never mind. There is one last clash. It's now I believe Ifrit and Phoenix.
So sure of your place atop the world, you refuse to acknowledge those below. You chose to remain alone. And so you shunned the one thing that could have made you stronger. Pushed away the hands that could have raised you higher. I do not need you or anyone. And that is where we are different. I could not have made it here on my own. I carry with me the hope strength to end your reign. I cannot end.
You can see the arena has changed as a result of the state of the fight, because Ultima is losing, so the visuals are all kind of just dying down.
And we shall be its final witness.
What do you remember?
Hardship and
Wait! Oh yeah, no, the dude's fucking wrong then. Wow.
What's up?
Oh yeah, no, he's full of shit. Yeah, it's a yeah, okay. I genuinely thought you had forgotten where Clive ended up, but no. Yeah, no, he's back in the throne room. They never left. The only thing
Yes.
is that Ultima's corpse isn't there anymore, but Ultima's more of a spirit creature. Yeah, no, mine's all Mindscape.
Yeah, as I said, why would you think I'd lie about that? I don't like Clive, but I'm not a liar.
I didn't think you were lying. I thought you had forgotten that Clive had to walk back there or something.
I told you. I rewatched our stream.
I looked away for a few seconds. You're kind of distracted all the time. Yeah, no. No, yeah. It's just in the Mindscape. Yeah, no. It's because the interdimensional rift's already a Mindscape. Yeah, it's more of Battle Wills. Yeah, no, completely.
Let's go over his little thing of like, okay, if it's a mental mindscape, why is he in a different position than where he was when he went in? Okay, you're knocked out. Doesn't mean you're fucking immobile.
Yeah, I was gonna say you really literally you can just make the argument that Clive, because his will was so strong, his body just got up in response. Like it happens. Like you can do that in real life.
And people are like, oh, why isn't Ultima there? Because Ultima is a disembodied soul. He cast away his physical form like eons ago.
Remember this is Sparta's favorite Final Fantasy? I remember. I'll never forget.
The member berries member.
Always. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean that's about it. I just wanted to look into these comments and also review some of the fights. And yeah, that's all I really want to do. So, wild stuff. Look, so what might end up happening this Saturday is if G1 blog releases their blog on Saturday, we might postpone Tales for Saturday and just do the blog. Depending, well,
Well, do you,
Well, you're not working Saturday, so do you want to? Are you gonna want to go through the blog yourself and determine if it's actually worth talking about, or?
I want to rip. I want to do them slowly in a group.
Okay, yeah. So what might end up happening is for Saturday, instead of doing the tail stream and continuing it, we might pause the tail stream and do the G1
Well,
blog.
you want to move the tail stream to like another day next week, and we can just double up.
Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem. But all right, that's all I wanted to check on. Because I wanted to check the comments and be fair about it. Some people responded. Huh?
Now, I want to hear you say just a couple of words. It's 3 words.
Does it start with U and then with the T, or does it start with the Y and then with the T?
It could. Just let me hear those words.
You were right, Kyle.
Yes. Do I get a point?
No, because we weren't having a discussion about it. But so if you ended up commenting on the last video and you watched this stream, and you feel like I may have missed something or you disagree, obviously we're streaming all the time and we will be streaming the death battle, so feel free to stop on by there. And for the rest of you guys that showed up for this stream, thank you guys for your time as always. I'm hoping to win some money after work. Cloud is even more of an Naruto victim. But yeah, no. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for your time as always. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys on the next streamer video. Take care, everybody. Have yourselves a nice night.